Terve, Servus, Ni hao, Privet, Hey son. Hi guys, my name is Dennis Richard and welcome to my channel. I'm of Finlandssvensk and Karelian heritage myself, from Helsinki, Finland, beautiful Suomi. I studied, worked and traveled to quite several countries, and now I live in China. I will discover different aspects of culture and life, all interesting parts about China from scratch. And however, the main aspects and the main objective here is to shed the light on how to start a business in this particular country. I will dispel myth about China, but I will also touch on some nuances, necessary ones that should be taken into account when working or moving here. Being a startup entrepreneur myself with a passion for innovation, and yes, I'm blessed to have international experience, like working, studying, living, falling in love in different countries from Europe and Asia. Nevertheless, I also have a corporate experience. My main focus and main point of interest in my career was tech business, tech startups, venture capital funds, investment banking, tobacco industry, retail. All right, so I will touch more on that in the next episodes. Also, it's almost impossible to be prepared. So religion actually occupies a special place in Chinese society and life. The main belief systems are Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and there are followers of Orthodoxy, Eastern Pali Buddhism, and even like shamanism, but a much lesser extent, of course. But today I really want to touch on the major religions and their place in everyday life in China. To do so, I went for a short trip, visited several temples in Guangzhou, around the city, and that have stood here for centuries. So these actually will relieve us not only a spiritual heritage, but also a key to understanding business features in this country, how religion and culture affects business decisions and business mind of local people. Stained glass windows and other decorative elements that were brought by European craftsmen. This church symbolized the cultural and religion influence of the West on China and during the colonizing period. It's also a reminder of the complex relationship between the Chinese population and the Europeans. So China's rapid economic development and urbanization led to social and cultural changes. In the face of these transformations, some people turn to religion to find solace, meaning, and ethical guidance. So religion plays a significant role in the cultural and societal life of the Chinese people. Buddhist and Taoist temples are important cultural and tourist sites, attracting millions of visitors. Religion festivals such as Chinese New Year and the Mid-Autumn Festival are full of traditions and rituals rooted in the ancient beliefs. But actually such a rich culture and rich openness to those temples was not always the case. On August 8, 1966, the 11th plenum of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China adopted the decree of the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution. Despite the name, the policy led to widespread repression and caused colossal damage to culture. According to official version, the purpose of the Cultural Revolution was to fight the restoration of capitalism and internal and external revolutionism. In reality, however, it was not like that at all. So there are pretty many large business cities, production cities in China. But one of the cities is Foshan, is one of the famous and the best in the furniture industry. It's located actually in Guangdong province. It's maybe around 30 or 40 kilometers from Guangzhou, the city where I'm located right now. And definitely, this is a people-oriented company. I learned it, I've seen it, I witnessed it. So this is not only the words. And this is not to say that this company is very innovative for China. And I would prefer to check such an ambitious statement from the management of the Rongo company. And this is what I will do. The Rongo CEO, Gao Ge, of course, I met him, and the CEO of the company was also present at the party. He came with his son, Troy, the hire to the company. During that time, the task was pretty simple. They had to approach all the guests, all the tables of those guests, at the party, and they have to drink with them, and they have to salute them. And I already said that there were like around 1,500 people, right? A lot of guests. And can you just imagine for a second what could happen to the CEO if he drank 1,500 of times? Huh? Yeah, guys, so let's talk about internet and mobile services. So basically you can buy a SIM card immediately on your arrival, exactly like at the airport. But let me tell you what, once you arrive at the airport and you want to buy a SIM card there, it will be more expensive for sure, because the tariff plans they use, they're designed for tourists. Speak English, maybe Russian, maybe German, Dutch, French. Congratulations. This will not help you in China at all. Forget about those languages.
这个帮你们测不？测这个啊。
谢谢。Two competing companies, WeChat and Alipay, and this QR code is only for WeChat, so I cannot order within Alipay scanning. So, yeah. Nevertheless, there's not only technologies, so there are also some amusement. So the tourism, as the Shogun attracts tourists from all around the world because it's actually very beautiful. The cultural attraction, you know, the contribute to developing of the tourist business here. So, for example, namely Mount Danxia and Nanhua Monastery are very popular sites here. Now we're actually at the place where we are surrounded by plenty of European-style restaurants. So actually there are French restaurants, Italian restaurants, Mexican restaurants. Actually, I want to share with you my honest feeling and how I've been doing here for the past 3 months.
Using Chinese medicine, but based on Western medicine theories, also about 1,000 years ago, 1000年前吧. So actually some functions are found by Europeans. So for Western medicines, so the focus on purify the elements in the medicine. But for Chinese medicine, they combine the functions together.
I'm glad that you are interested in Chinese culture, Chinese traditions, in Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, for example. It's my pleasure to be here to discuss questions, things like this with you. I have been a teacher at Jinan University since 1984. I had taught English literature and American literature for many years, until when the International School of Jinan University was established and I began teaching Chinese religion.
What do you think about Chinese dream and versus American dream? Is it possible even like to compare them? Are there like such understanding of Chinese dream?
I think you can compare them, but I think the Chinese dream is not so popular as the American dream. In America, everybody wants the American dream. And in China, people want stability. They just want a good job. They don't mind working for somebody else. Sure, there are a few people who have great ambition and they want to be very wealthy and rich and own a business or something. But it's also good in China to just have a good job, have stability, and be humble.
Could you please tell me what are the main differences in culture that can affect business that people should know?
To me, the business people that in Sweden, they are really want to be. They actually work on a very honest way, and they don't have that many like activities after work. And they even a colleague between in a company, they don't like build up a private relationship. But in China, especially in Canton, everything about tea. Businessmen, when you talk about business, you go out for tea.
Feel free to share some personal advices. Well, how do you feel and examples?
First of all, just stay informed about the rapid development of the Chinese market and the Chinese society. We're no longer a village and we're no longer a countryside. We are just full of skyscrapers and an advanced society. I know I'm a little exaggerating, but I just want to underline
Yeah, it's very important.
the impact that we focus on the economic development.
Also here in the interviews and on the CVs, just pay attention, right, and ask your questions, make your due diligence on the people. You have a probation period for the first month, right? Labor law in China can be strict, right? Can have obligations for you as an employer. You should be aware of that. On the other hand, it gives you also flexibility.
So let's stay tuned and try to figure out how China works and how to make $1 million in China without wasting my time.